Hello, everybody. Give a minute, let everyone get on. Clear my throat, don't know what's happening there. Today is actually my 100th live here on the Cartomancer. So I thought that was pretty cool, right? Like, all right, I'll take it. So we are 100 lives in. There's lots of divination happening and all of that good stuff. And I have to, I'm trying to fix this. Good morning. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And I'm trying to get warm. I'm so cold today. And I have my blanket on, everything. I have my heater, my tea, and it's just chilly. But the good thing is that, yes, good morning, everybody, is in a few days, I'm headed to StarCon in West Palm Beach, and I checked the weather, and it's like 80s. I'm so excited. I can't wait for it. I'm so ready for it. So, besides getting to see everyone and all that good stuff, I also get to be in warm weather, which, if you know me, that's just what makes me the happiest, because it's cold right now. I don't like it. What else? Yeah, so we have that going on. We are almost to the end of the month. I'm holding my keyboard, so I'm looking at my calendar. There won't be a live next week because I will be on my way home. And yeah, there's that. But I'll be back on the 30th, so there is also that whole thing. Keep an eye out. I am scheduling some lives. I am actually talking to Elliot, who wrote Tarot in Love. That's his new book. I'm trying to see if I have it right here. I don't. And we are going to probably do something for Valentine's Day. I was talking to him yesterday, and I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to do, considering his book is called Tarot in Love. It's all about love tarot readings and all of that. So we're going to talk about his book. We're going to talk about giving love tarot readings, receiving love tarot readings, best ways to ask questions, what to expect, what not to expect, and all of that. So, and I do consider him a dear friend, and we always have such a good time when we do lives together. Like, literally, he's the sweetest everything. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. So yeah, so that's exciting. And then, a couple are in the wings here I feel like this month too, we're all just trying to get to still, it's taking a little longer to get back into the groove of things. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but it's just how it is. And we're just going to roll with it, right? Okay. So for today, we are going to do working through some of the newer tarot decks and oracle decks I have received. So I wanted to go ahead and use those. Let me move my keyboard out of the way. So this one I was really excited about, and I flipped through it real quick, but I didn't really get to see, all of the cards in this deck, so I'm really curious about it and getting stuck with all stickers and stuff. Okay. It's the Phantom Wise Tarot by Erin Morgenstern. And thank you. My friend made it. Isn't it pretty? So this is it. So if any of you have read The Night Circus, she is the author of The Night Circus. And if you haven't read The Night Circus book, I highly recommend it. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it's a really, really good book. And excuse me, now I kind of want to reread it, but then, I have a pile of books I have to read through anyway for reviews, so I'll get to it eventually. It'll happen at some point. And then this one, US Games sent me, called Wild Woman Rising. I just opened it. And so we are going to dive into this oracle deck. Gold gilding. You know, that's always a good sign for me, usually. Actually, speaking of, I had to show you guys. Yeah, it definitely looks interesting. I haven't dove into either of them because, you know, I like to do that. And, so I've contacted the printer for my tarot deck, Stardust Wanderer Tarot. Plan on going live in April. Don't know the exact date yet, but definitely we are getting to that point. We have about 15, 14 cards left. And, yeah, it's kind of crazy now. So I've been trying to go ahead and start the process, get things going. If you haven't signed up for my pre-launch page yet, the link is in my bio at Stardust Wanderer Tarot. So definitely make sure to head over there after we're done and go and sign up for that. But I wanted to show you real quick. So I had gotten samples from the printer because I'm still kind of deciding on cards and thickness and this and that and all the things. So this is what they send you, just so you know. Oh my gosh, I can't even lift it. So this is all of the sample cards that they send. And they sent a couple boxes, but I have to kind of go through, look at this, all of these cards and to try to like figure out what I want. And they sent a couple boxes, different types of boxes, which the magnet open one is kind of what I'm leaning towards. And they even put more cards in there. Look at, I mean, there's cards in here. There's no cards in this one. But isn't that crazy? Like, I'm just like, holy crap. Like, you don't realize, like, how many different types of cards they are. Like, that one's got holographic edging. And then it tells you exactly, like, the material, the size, the finish, all of that. So, it's a lot. And I'm going to also, you know, I'm looking into like stretch goal stuff, extra goodies and all of that. And I'm going to make a post too, because I want to know on my Stardust, when you receive a Kickstarter, like what are the goodies that you like the most? So I'm going to make a post on my Stardust page in a little bit after we're done here. And because I'm really curious, I want to know, and I want to be able to, yeah, there's so many and it's a little overwhelming. And then it's like, then you got to think about packaging and all this stuff. It's bananas. And I just, you know, want to kind of do a little checking, see what people like and what they, so I don't like spend extra time and money on things that people are just going to like throw in the garbage, you know. And look, do you see, I put tinsel in my hair. I was feeling just festive. So we have hair tinsel going on today too, in case you're wondering why I'm like glowing or glittering or whatever I'm doing. All right, let's do this. Also, if you want the latest issue, we do have some available. I believe we have a couple subscriptions available. So after we're done here, head to the link in our bio and be sure to grab that. So, you know, it's just makes it easier too when you just buy them or get a subscription, because then it just shows up and that's always exciting. So yeah, so let's see what we got here. I have to shuffle these. So these cards are like linen finish. They definitely have some texture to them. So this is the Phantom Wise Tarot. And I just have to shuffle these up a little bit. Yeah, I was like, why not? Let's do it. Have some fun. So I had mentioned too that in a couple days I'm headed to StarCon. That is also, it is a hybrid event. So it is also virtual as well. So if you are interested in that, you can go to StarCon, either the website or the Instagram page, whatever, and it's STAARON. So then you can check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I am just, you know, yeah, okay, yeah, Amber said the link's in the bio. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be fun. I can't even like move, like separate these cards because like my fingers are numb right now. Like what is happening? What is going on? So these definitely have like a no, they're very textured. So that's interesting. It makes them easy to grab. I'm curious, like, they're interesting. I like the card backs, though. Oh, it's another thing I have to do is figure out my card backs. Yeah, right. I actually do have an electric blanket on my bed. I do. And I have a little mini heater on my legs right now. It's ridiculous. All right. I'm almost done with all this. I'm gonna make sure they're shuffled up good. I haven't even really actually got to dive into this guidebook yet. I do reviews of pretty much all the decks that I have on my Stardust channel too, so they're over there if you need them. But I also too, if you see a deck that you like that I'm using, I always link it in the description after this is over and it posts. So it's always there too. If you ever happen to like go back or look at any of them and you're like, where is that deck from? Then it's right there in the post. So I'm going to make sure everyone's taken care of, you know. All right, let's go and get started here. We'll just start at the top today. You know what I need to do after this? I need to pack. Start packing. Because I have to pack and then take stuff out because I tend to overpack and that happens. Oh, you guys probably can't hear it, but my woodpecker's outside. Every single day I'm telling you this woodpecker has been outside my window and I can hear her. All right, so we are starting with Aries, and right off the bat we get the Ace of Wands. So that's some extra fiery energy for an already fiery sign. And I love that because with the aces are all about that possibility. So what is, you know, Aries, think about today, what possibilities are available to you that you can take action on? I think that's such an interesting thing to think about because sometimes we just take action and we don't really sit and actually think why we're doing it or what the result is. We just tend to do it. So I think for you, Aries, too, it's the possibility of what will happen when you do take these actions. So there you go. Let's see what we got here with the card backs of these are pretty. Let me show you. Aren't those pretty? And my falling flowers today. All right, so we have guard the inner child. That's interesting. Let's see how these two are playing together today. It just talks about your inner child and potential. So I think though, in a way, what really is kind of speaking to me here with this Ace of Wands, and again, thinking about the possibilities of your actions and taking action, is maybe not letting your inner child kind of decide that. Maybe there's something that might be a little triggering to you, or it brings you back to a memory of when you were younger. So just don't base it off that, Aries. That's where I'm going to go with that one. All right. So then that brings us to Taurus. And if you want me to pull a card for you, go ahead and put it in the question bubble. Check that out. Wow, we're just starting off with all the aces today. So Taurus, we have the Ace of Swords. For you, I think it's about what conversations are you starting? What conversations are you starting that maybe feel a little stretchy for you or going out of your comfort zone? I think too, I feel like last week too, we talked about this with Taurus, like just going out of the comfort zone. I think that it's really interesting that this is coming up for them too. And, you know, Taurus, sometimes it's good to be, really stand by your beliefs, your ideas, and all of that. But sometimes Taurus can be a little stubborn and get stuck in that. And sometimes it's not always good to just be so stuck in something that you can't see the other things going on. And again, we're using that word possibilities because we have that ace. So I think that's really important for you, Taurus, to kind of just consider. How about that? Hello, Saphira. Hello, everybody. So that brings us to gather your tribe. Oh, that's a pretty card. Gather your tribe, Taurus. So I do feel like these conversations and you maybe stepping out of your comfort zone has to do with maybe your tribe or the people around you. And maybe there's some conversations that need to be had within this tribe, and you're the one that's going to initiate them. So I think that's really important. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, nuts. What did I do with that? Oh. All right. So then that brings us to Geminis. Geminis. I know, it's so crazy, to think about that. And actually, it's probably, I think it's a little over 100 because there were a couple of the lives that I did that didn't save. And they got deleted because, Instagram's really cool like that. So that's kind of cool to think about as well. So let us bring our Geminis here. All right. This is so weird, guys. Ace of Pentacles. What? I totally shuffled, I swear. That is so interesting. So, maybe because, even though we'll go into Mercury's shadow period, maybe because Mercury retrograde's over, I don't freaking know. Possibility is everywhere. It's happening, okay? Especially for these first couple of signs. So Gemini, Ace of Pentacles. So for you, I feel like at this point, you might be at a transition. It might be something you're starting, there's a couple things open to you, pathways that could be related to maybe home life, to work, that sort of thing. And there are new possibilities. And there are new avenues to take, and you can choose, not all the choices that you have here are bad. None of them, they could be good, they could be bad, they could be whatever. But I think it's really about feeling into it and staying grounded in what you want and how you want it to happen. And Gemini, that might even look to you also because you are that air sign. So you're up here a lot. Maybe doing a little bit of grounding will help you choose what path you want to go down and what decisions you want to make. That is so funny. Wow. All right. So that brings us to worship at the temple. So I think that's that grounding energy, right? Because temples are usually some sort of sacred space. It doesn't need to be an actual temple. It could, your favorite tree could be your temple, right? So I think this really just speaks to that whole grounding aspect, Gemini. I think that would be really good for you. So that brings us, let's do our question. Let's see. Saphira, what energies can the collective expect with Mars now direct and the new moon on the 21st? I feel like this new moon came up quick. Oh, I just realized I'll be in Florida for the new moon. Who knows that? And 22nd is the Chinese New Year. At least that's what my calendar is telling me. So we have, all right. We are all about change. So I have the Death card. So I really think at this point, it's all about harnessing change. And it's all about, yeah, Nicole, for sure. I think it's about harnessing change. You know, you have this opportunity at the new moon that Mars, you know, is definitely, you know, everybody was kind of against each other. Everybody's kind of going now in the flow. It's going in the flow. So as you move into this new moon that's coming up this weekend, I think it's really important for all of us to tap into our flow and to start really creating change in our life. So that's that. It's time. All right. So then that brings us to our Cancers. All right, Cancers. I was going to say, it's not. I was hoping, I almost thought we were going to get another ace, but we didn't. We got that the lovers card. So Cancers. I feel that for you, this is really more related to yourself and not any outside type of love. I feel like that it's really important for you to harness, embrace, integrate all parts of yourself. I think it's time for you to really step out, especially with this new moon too. I feel like that energy is really kind of in there too. It's just stepping out as one whole self and stop separating everything, you know, and stop really working on just that integration. Like, I feel like that's really like the word that pops in my head for you Cancers is the integrating, and looking at that and seeing how that feels. And sometimes that could be scary for people. They don't want to harness all parts of themselves, you know. And it's really funny because I'm going to be speaking about this too at StarCon with my presentation. And really, I think that's really what it is for you Cancers, is just, you know what, it's time to kind of do a deep dive on yourself and know that no matter what, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just a matter of recognizing, respecting all parts of you. So that's what I got there. All right. Let's see what the Wild Woman Rising had to say about it. Guard your inner child. So I think that's interesting. So, you know, and that too can be a part of that aspect of integrating yourself, right? Is giving that inner child a little bit of attention and maybe asking your inner child what it needs. So you got a lot, excuse me. You have a lot going on there, Cancers. A lot, I feel like, but I think it's all good stuff, and I think it will lead to good things. So that brings us to Leo. I'm having jumpers. Pull for the Cartomancer. We did a collective reading. I suppose we could do that. All right. But first, Leo. Let's see what the Leos have. All right. Leo is the King of Wands. So Leo's, you know, action's the name of the game right now. And I think it's also time to take some big action. I don't think, you know, it's just little things. I think it's definitely time to take some bigger action. And this might be something that you will have been a little hesitant to do. Maybe it's a little scary. You know that once you take this action, it will change things. It will change maybe some dynamics around you. But I do think, of course, it's time for it. And this, you know, this is it. It's time. It's time to do that. Because apparently everybody in the whole stinking zodiac today needs to make some sort of change. It's like the running theme we have going on here. Or seeking the possibility, of course. Apparently I just have frogs running around in my throat today. Let's take a sip. Okay. What do we got here? Use your cunning. So, I love that. So, really paying attention, I think, into your intuition. Tapping into your intuition with your, really also paying attention to whatever insight, whatever messages you get. I do feel like that there are going to be clues to what it is that you need to be, changing that dynamic or taking action on it, or what that action is. So really pay attention for the next couple of days and, think about these things popping up for you and what they mean and what that relates to as far as what actions you need to take. So have that. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, Callie, you're so funny. All right. So Virgos. Virgos. Ooh, we have the devil. The devil. So Virgos, I feel like, I feel overdoing is the word that just popped in my head when I pulled this card. So Virgos, you're overdoing it, and you're overdoing it now to a point. Yes, you're welcome. You're overdoing it though to a point where it's not beneficial to you anymore. It's one of the situations where you can't fill others' cups if yours is empty. And Virgo, you're going too much out of your way for things that really have nothing to do with you or aren't serving you. And you can fix it. You know how to fix it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to fix it. So with that being said, I think it's time for you to step back from any of these situations that you're in and really take care of yourself. Because that can, if you don't take care of yourself, then you're going to be drained, and then all the hard work that you put in is just going to fall apart anyway. So it's time, Virgos. All right, so that brings to rise again. So as you are taking that break or time for yourself to fill your cup, that's going to help you rise again. That's going to help you be the best you can be, top notch, thinking clearly, and all of those things. So I do feel like this card just kind of reminding you and saying and validating that, like, yes, that's what you need to be doing. So then that brings us to, let's see. Maya wants to know, what are 2 action steps I can take to help my business? All right. 2 action steps. So I think this is really funny. Okay. Right away, I noticed this. You asked for 2 action steps, right? So we got the Page of Wands. Look, there's 2 kitties. I love that. So I really think with this Page of Wands, and I love that that she's like holding up, kind of like this board or wand. I guess it's a wand. Yeah. Holding up the wand, but both the kitties are on it and they're on both ends. So I think for you, Maya, it really has to do with being consistent, but also playful, right? So we can still, playful doesn't always have to be spontaneous. You can still be playful and be consistent. And I really think that's your message for today, is making it fun, and making it in a fun way that is something that you are staying consistent with, and making sure that whatever it is that you're doing, it stays on the same page. You're not like going all over the place. Like, even though, and that's one thing with a lot of us, right? We have all these modalities that we know how to do. And we want everybody to know that we know how to do them. We took the time, we studied and whatever, and we got the certifications. Even though certifications are like kind of because anybody can certify anybody in anything, And it's a proof that you put in the work and you studied, yes, of course. But it's better to focus on one thing, because as you are showcasing that one thing, all the other things that you do will pop into it. So it doesn't mean, that kind of helps too. And that kind of helps you focus. So that's something that I think is really important, especially with anyone with like an online type business. So there we go. Now let's go to Scorpio. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. And today, if you just came in, it's my 100th live. So it's super fun, super extra special, just because why not, right? All right, so then this is going to bring us to, we knew that ace was going to get in here somewhere. We got the Ace of Wands. So we hit all the aces today, guys. Every single one. So that's really interesting. So Scorpios, you're ready to take action. You want to take action, but I feel that maybe you're not sure what to take action on. You know, and we can definitely take action on whatever we want, right? Like it's whatever situation's happening. But I do feel like, again, focus is really important. And, you know, you kind of have like this vine intertwining this wand, right? And I feel like that means that, and it's one vine. Like you see kind of this one is veering off this way. This one may be growing off that way. And even here, there's some growth. But this part is, and it kind of actually, look at that. It looks like an S too for Scorpio. I think that's pretty funny. So, you know, I think with this, it's finding, again, that focus and the possibility of what happens when you focus on just one thing. I mean, in reality, we can't just focus on one thing and that's it, right? Like, you know, then our animals wouldn't get fed, our people wouldn't get fed, or the house would be a mess, or whatever, all those things, right? So within reason, this is all within reason. And thanks, Nicole. And I think that for you, Scorpio, it's just focusing on one thing right now. Besides all the everyday stuff, like that doesn't count. In your work, in your extra whatever, just finding one thing to focus on, because I feel like you've been a little bit scattered, Scorpio. And then that's really where that possibility is, because then it's going to start moving forward, and that's what we want. All right, so then that brings us to be tender. Oh, that's so cute. I want to cuddle with a koala bear. What the heck? Well, I want to do that. So here, being tender is, I think this really is speaking to Scorpio. It's just being gentle with yourself, being kind to yourself. You can be harsh. You can be very harsh to yourself, to others, all those things. But I think this has to do with your own thinking, your own mindset. Is definitely, being kind to yourself and giving yourself some credit. And, we can only do what we can only do. There are a lot of outside influences going on, and there's only so much time in a day. So whatever we don't finish today will most certainly still be there tomorrow. And believe me, that's something I even tell myself. So that brings us to Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. All right, let's see. We have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands. Oh, geez. Almost threw that right wherever. I just wanted to look at it. I haven't gotten to see these. So Six of Wands. Sag, you've been moving along and you have taken some big actions, maybe these past couple of weeks. So yeah, things are looking good for you. Things are maybe headed exactly the way in the direction you want them to be headed. And this is all about just kind of taking that time to think about where you came from, how you got here, all that you've been through, and, being like, all right, not too bad, but don't get stuck there. It's like, all right, yeah, this is great. I did really good, but then what's next? Thinking about what's next for you, Sag. Like, how can you build on what you've accomplished already? So, I like this one. Oh, this is a pretty card. Feed your wisdom. Look how pretty that is. So I think maybe for you, Sag, because like I said, you've gotten to this point where everything is kind of doing their flow and working out. And how can you build on that? Maybe that's a little bit of studying or mentoring or finding a mentor or just maybe doing some research. So that is something to consider, that maybe that is what you need to do to kind of build on your momentum right now. So that brings us to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. Let's see what we got here. Wow, guys, these aces are like all up in our you-know-what today. So we have the Ace of Wands, Aquarius. No, Capricorn. Capricorn we're at. Excuse me. So, Capricorn. Ace of Wands. You know, Capricorns, you know, you are an action type of person. You are about that action. And I feel like for you that it's time to take some, for some reason, I kind of feel like it's starting actions, but in a way to kind of trim down what's going on around you. Like, I feel like there's a lot of extra around you right now, Capricorn, and it's really time to take action to kind of get rid of stuff that's not needed, that doesn't serve you, that doesn't serve maybe your business or your home life or things like that. Like, I feel like that's where that action needs to be for you. And by doing that and clearing away some of that stuff, it, again, with that word possibility, there is, you know, opens up some new possibilities and new situations for you. So, let's see, know yourself. So I feel like, again, this is kind of like that reminder, validating card that, you know, as I was saying that, you knew what those situations and what those things were, that, or people or habits or whatever it is, you knew what they were. So no, you know, trust that and really go with it. And I think trusting yourself, knowing yourself is really important. So Capricorn, yeah, you got some thinking to do, I feel like. So that brings us to Aquarius. So Aquarius, we have the Five of Cups. So sometimes things don't work out the way that we want them to, or our expectations are so high about a situation that it doesn't work the way that we thought it would, and then we have like extra disappointment, right? Expectation is just it's just not a good thing, you know. It's like, it's good to expect things, but only to a certain point. When you let that expectation lead the situation and what actions you take towards it, you're just going to wind up disappointed. But there's also kind of a light at the end of the tunnel too. Even though things haven't worked out the way you want, there are still some options, you know, and that's just really a big thing with this Five of Cups. And pretty much, you know, every card, there's always those three knocked down, you know, like kind of like that 3 strikes you're out situation. But those 2 cups are still up on the shelf. So it's almost like, all right, you need to get out of your own head and look around and see what's up. Just like if she looked up, she would see that there's still 2 cups there that are full. So there are still some options for you. So give yourself a little time to pout. But then after that, get up and get moving again. So, let's see. Now we are almost to the end of the zodiac. So if you want me to pull a card for you, now would be a good time to put your question in the question mark bubble. All right. Tell your story. So maybe you do need to talk it out a little bit. Maybe, you know, Aquarius, you need to kind of let just the release of discussing it with somebody help you to realize the other possibilities in the situation. There's that. And now, last but definitely not least, is Pisces. So Pisces, what do we have for you? I mean, what is going on with this? This Ace of Wands. Guys, what is happening? I think I pulled this how many times? Like 5 times? Like, this is crazy. 5 times. So, I mean, this Ace of Wands, like, just actions, people. There's just so many things happening. So Pisces, I think for you, I think it's really like, it's also too like maybe some cosmic joke. Like, how many ways can Jen spin this Ace of Wands card? Maybe that's what's happening right now. I think that must be it. For you Pisces, though, I do feel like it really is about that deep well. You have a deep well. Very much so, Pisces. And I feel that maybe for you, these last couple of weeks have been a little bit heavy. And that it's really time, like for me, like what I'm imagining really is like this well and this big wand is kind of like stirring the pot, Like I feel like that's really what it's about. Like Pisces, it's time to stir your pot. It's time to shake things up and go out and do something different. Maybe it is a mindset that you are been kind of stuck on and been in that well swimming around with, but now it's time to kind of change it. And by doing that, it will let the universe know that you're ready for that change. You're ready for a new perspective. So I think that's really let this fiery wand change your perspective. So that's what I'm getting. Yeah, that's what's happening right here. All right, Pisces. All right, let's see. Let's see what the wild woman has for us, right? It definitely, really, it's just like the running of change, a possibility of what can happen when you actually start taking steps to change. Really, and I think that's a really great energy considering, just some of the planetary changes. We have that new moon coming up and, the cards are really speaking to that today. So this is about gathering your tribe. So I think for you, Pisces, with this card coming up, it's all about knowing that you are supported and making sure you are letting others know, like, you know what, Pisces, you're going to stir this pot. It doesn't mean that's going to be a super easy thing, but making sure that you talk to people that are your people and let them know, like, hey, I'm going to try to start doing this or that, and maybe they can support you. They can be kind of that, can spot you if you're like feeling some sort of way, check on you and that sort of thing. So I think that's really important. Pisces is to stir the pot, but also not to do it by yourself, to make sure you are to reach out. And when you reach out, sometimes it's hard to do that. It's hard to ask for help or ask for support, right? But when you're doing that, it's also, again, letting the universe know that you're ready for that and you're ready to be supported. So I think that's a really important part of this for you with the Ace of Wands. So that brings us to the end of our zodiac. I thought it was pretty spicy today. Like, I think we had quite the spicy readings. Like, there's like stuff's happening. So I think that's kind of cool. All right. And what a way to celebrate our 100th live here, right? If anyone wants a card, this is the time. If not, just a reminder, I will not be here. You're very welcome, Pamela. I will not be here next week. I'll be on my way home. What am I doing for Mbach? I'm not sure yet. I think after I get home from Florida next week, I'm going to decide on what I want to do. And see. I feel like it came up really quick. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it came up really quick. Like this month kind of flew by, like in that weird blur, but maybe that's how it was supposed to go. I'm going to accept it and just go with it. But yeah, I'll be back on the 30th. And also, like I said, keep an eye out. I'm setting up a couple of interviews and I'll be posting on here anyway. And I think Elliot and I are going to do something for Valentine's Day, which falls on a Tuesday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and I think that's that. All right, everybody, you have a great week ahead. And I'll see you Not next week, but on the 30th. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with me.